I wanted to basically not, you know how Machine, they have this new feature now with, I think it came with 1.5, the update. It's basically a feature where you could export, and you can export MIDI and audio into your DAW, which is cool. It's really cool, but to me it's kind of like, you know, why you have that export option? I don't want to be like making patterns and exporting them. Like, I don't know, it seems kind of like a drag to me, you know? So it always came to my mind, like, why can't I just, like, if anything, route my sounds into Pro Tools, have their own tracks. Each individual sound has its own track, and then basically mix it the way you want it on Pro Tools or whatever your DAW is, Logic or Cubase or whatever. And basically, I bumped into this video. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have heard of them too. It's called Groove 3. And I bumped into a video, and they had a bunch of tutorials. They had one for Maschine, which was like almost, I think it's like 40 videos. Like, if I go straight here, it's like almost 40 videos on Maschine. And I bumped into this one that showed basically how to do exactly what I just said. You know, basically route the sounds from Maschine into Pro Tools, and you could mix it on Pro Tools without having to export MIDI or audio, you know, so it's perfect. So basically what you're gonna have to do is use auxiliary tracks. You could use audio tracks, but the thing is, when you use audio tracks, you're gonna have to record it, and then it's printed as an audio track, which is kind of pointless. It defeats the purpose of the whole routing thing, because if anything, you could just export audio. So I found out a way how to do it through the video, and I know a lot of people can't afford to pay for the videos, because their videos you have to pay for it. So I'm kind of explaining it here in my own YouTube video. So this is a little different for me. I usually do beat making videos, and I haven't made one in a while, but I just wanted to show you guys, share some information, because I know information on YouTube is super valuable and you learn so much from it. So basically, let me open a session real quick. Let me just open a test one. This is just something, like, this is actually nothing. And I'm gonna make a new track. Instrument, that's for the Machine. Then I'm gonna show you with one auxiliary, and also one stereo auxiliary, one mono auxiliary, so I could show you examples of both. So basically, you have to open an instant of Machine, and then I'm gonna just show you real quick, just so I give you the gist of it, so you know, you guys could practice it yourself. Once you get to practicing, it'll be cake from there. So I apologize if I'm looking like this way. This is because I have two screens, but ScreenFlow is just, you know, allowing me for one screen. So let me just load up a kit real quick and then just show you guys. Let me just do an 808. Put a click track. I don't know why it always does this, like it. Hold on. Frustrating. Alright, so basically I got my two sounds here. And hope you guys can hear that. So I got my two sounds there, my kick and my snare. So my thing is that I want to be able to take this kick, the sound, and route it into here, into the auxiliary track, and then take the snare and route it into here or here, whichever one. It depends on your taste. You have to experiment, because with stereo and mono, it depends on the sound. It really depends on the sound. You're gonna have to really experiment. To me, it's like, if a sound has more of an open sound, more than just a dead on like center type sound, then if it's dead on center, use mono. If it has like an ambience to it, like a type of reverb sound to the sound itself, then definitely try to use stereo to integrate that ambience to it. So I'm gonna show you an example of what I mean. With a snare drum, let's just put reverb, which adds like an ambience to it. See how it's like ambient? So, okay. So basically, I want this kick to be routed to Pro Tools. So let me show you exactly how I do this. I'm gonna start first from Maschine. You could do it any way you want, but let's do it from Maschine first. So basically, you go to sound in the kit that you're using, the pattern that you want this to happen. You go to the kit, you go to sound, you press out over here, and then where under the main menu right here, you go to the output section, and instead of group, you have all these outputs over here. Ignore output 1 because that one doesn't go into Pro Tools. I think because it's the main output. So, or the main input. Yeah, the main output. So you basically go from 2 to 16. So this means output 2 to 16, and each one has left and right. So you have output 2 left, output 2 right, output 3 left, output 3 right. So you go like that. So the kick, as I told you, I want it to be dead center mono. So the way you do it, let me show you how some people can make a mistake by doing this. So let's say I have 2 auxiliary tracks and I have my kick set to output 2. Through the inputs of the auxiliary tracks in Pro Tools, you go to plugin, machine inserts, and here you have all the outputs, the same ones that I showed you over here, but they're split up because you're using a mono auxiliary track. So let's put left, and then let's just say for some reason you have this one in right. So you see how the kick comes out of both, and you might be questioning like, why does it come out of both? Because you're using output 2, and both of these are still part of output 2. They're both different sides of it, but they're still output 2, so it's like splitting it up. So it's basically as if these two together were stereo tracks formed together. So a way to split it up, this is basically the only way you could do it. This is how old school producers and all that used to do it back in the day. They used to route things via pan pots. So basically you gotta pan whatever the sound is, wherever the sound is in the output section right here. You got, I don't know why I'm pointing with my finger, like you can see my finger. So basically you pan it to whichever auxiliary you want. So let's say it's on left, you pan it all the way hard left, and then if you play it, you see it comes out on the left side. But you gotta be careful, you gotta lower down the volume a bit, because when you put it all onto one side, it basically doubles the volume of like both of them. So you gotta do that. And then let's say you wanted to go to output 2 right, you pan it all the way to the right, and it ends up on the right side, and that's how you have it. So let me keep it like that. Let me keep it on the left side and just move on to the snare. So as you see, I have Maschine muted. Maschine right now, since you already routed out the kick, it won't be playing the kick in Maschine because it's not routed. It's not routed to the group, which is routed to the master. So now it's only routed to Pro Tools, meaning it will only play in Pro Tools. So if you mute Maschine, it only plays the kick, not the snare, because you didn't route the snare yet. And if you solo Maschine, it only plays the snare because the snare is the only thing that's still routed in Maschine that's playing right now. So basically you do the same thing for the snare, except this is this is a stereo track, so you can't choose the same one that you did with the kick, because you're already using the left pot of the output too, you know. So you have to select a new output. So select 3 or 4, whatever, it doesn't matter, and leave it in the middle. Since you're using stereo, leave it in the middle. You don't have to like move anything to the left or the right. Since it's stereo, you can keep it center. So for the stereo auxiliary track, you go into the input, plug in Maschine, and then select the same output that you put right here in Maschine. So then you do that and you play it. And as always, lower the volume a bit, because for some reason it comes out a little stronger. It's actually not because of the whole two sides coming in together as one. I don't know why, but it comes a little stronger. So just lower the level, give yourself a little headroom so you can have headroom to mix and stuff. But you see basically how that plays. And if you solo Maschine, it doesn't play anything anymore, because you routed all the sounds that are playing at the moment into Pro Tools. So it's still, you could still basically change the pattern in Maschine and it will play it here, but basically you routed your sounds over here. So if you see it, if you check this out right here, you have nothing over here. These are only auxiliary tracks. There's no MIDI involved, nothing, and you could mix in here. So let's just say I want to mix. So you just mix, and that's basically how you route it. And to me, this is like beautiful, because it makes everything a lot more professional. You could organize yourself a lot better. You could name your tracks, from here on. Snare, and then like I know. Oh, I hate that shit. I'm using a MacBook Pro, so I like to group my sounds together. So I would put like drums, and then in the mix window you have it as one. So I don't know, to me it's a lot simpler. It makes everything, you organize things a lot better. You could see it on Pro Tools. You don't have to be opening Maschine. You don't have to be mixing everything in Maschine. And that's what I used to do until a few days ago, when I realized this and I found out. And this is like a wake-up call to me. It just makes everything so much easier, so much smoother, so much more professional. Because I know in the professional world, people want to see you with all these auxiliary tracks, and people want to see that you know what you're doing. You know that you can split up every sound into their own track, because who wants to record all these sounds into just one track? Like, this is not 20 years ago where we were using 4 tracks or 8 tracks or 8-track recorders. Like, we actually have the ability now to open as many tracks as we so wish desire. I mean, there is a limit, but I mean, think about it. Why are you going to be using more than like 96 tracks for like one beat? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't do that. It is possible, but it's really rare for especially contemporary producers like myself and beat makers just making beats on Fruity Loops or stuff like that, So basically this is it, and I hope you guys benefited from this, because I know I did. And I'm definitely going to be putting up a bunch more videos explaining stuff that I always been wondering how to figure out, and I never could because no one ever posted a video on it. And hopefully my knowledge that I share with you guys could really help you guys out, help you grow as a producer, a beat maker, or engineer, because I know I did watching everybody else's videos, and I'm just trying to give back, you know what I'm saying? So enjoy, and leave me some feedback. If you got any questions, leave me some questions. But if you got questions about what I just explained and it's in the video, just watch the video again